what I had just said a few videos back, because this is where my brain's really been working on. Trying to remember very, very much so the details of this situation. Because at the time that I bumped into supposedly my cousin after so long, I remember this very, very clearly. That when they told me, now they looked like my cousin a little bit in the face. The little kid that turned around in the parking lot of my friend's apartment building that was across from my apartment building at the time. The little kid telling me, "We're gonna kill you." And the person I met that said that they were my cousin. And when I called them on that, I said, "You ain't my cousin. You are not my cousin. Matthew, you are not my cousin. Matthew." It knew. It turned and said to me, and this is physical form. My friend's seen it too. Or the person that I'm saying friend, it's way more complex than friend. My acquaintance, my long time knowing that I did not realize we knew each other for that long, but they did. Does not matter. They said the same thing. I said, "Yo, he just called himself Matthew." They said, "I didn't." He said the same thing to them. That was not that person, but it's what that personality was not my cousin. And even though it looked so much like my cousin, it said right to my face, it said, "Freaking, we killed your nephew. You're right. I'm not your cousin. We've already killed him." Now, whether it's mind games or not, between the little kid, because that was their little kid, him and his, no offense, this is the right way to say this, right? Homosexual lover. Their adopted child. Wow. Telling me, "We're going to kill you," and then talking to what seemed like my nephew, my cousin. And yet, I was picking up on it, and I'm like, he's like, "I'm God." And I was like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "No, you're not." And this was just me bullshitting. But I said, "You're not my nephew. You're not my cousin." And he's like, "Oh, if you're God," and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not quoting word for word in the sentences, but they were definitely there. The whole thing was, it's like, well, if you're God, then turn invisible. I can. Travel back and forth in time. Now, see, there's certain things that I forgot in my life. There are things that I have blocked completely out of my mindset. But this is a person telling me, "Oh, do it now. Why do I have to bow to you? I know who I am, one way or another." You know, the funny part is the whole right before 9/11, meeting the person that was the Xenu. But it wasn't the Z. Well, it was the face they were putting to the word Xenu. Huh. Wow. And the plan that was going into place, you know what? Wow. Wow. People that I was working for extracted me the best way that they could out of a situation with that church, the best way that they could. That was, yet again, exiling me on purpose, with, at the same time, nothing is to happen to this person no nothing is to happen to this person unless they talk bad about the church. So I didn't even bring up the church. No more. For the past 20-something years, it never ended. It never ended. You see, that is a part of what was proven the first time I got excommunicated on purpose the first time, and on the second time, I got excommunicated on purpose. Because the things that were going on were very, very fucking bad things. And not just because the church had its own freaking objectives of, how do we make people happy and still this, but then there was the other side of the church. They wanted what they did not earn, mentally did not earn. This is the true story. So what did they do? They tried to overpower the church. The people that knew about the technology already knew that getting this technology into the wrong hands, the not so much uneducated, but the hey, look, man, freaking technology in the wrong hands. Let's just sum this up. What is a gun? What is a gun? A gun is simplistic technology that works in a very, very horrible way when put to good use. And sometimes not a good use. So handing a 5-year-old a fucking handgun loaded and cocked is not so much a great fucking idea. Handing a monkey a fucking assault rifle is not a good idea. Unless, of course. But these are reasons that I just brought up in the other videos. There were heroes that died on 9/11. Not all of them were heroes. Everybody talks about cover-ups, and yet freaking, something? Some of those people you reach out to, and the minute you start talking about some real shit, they think that you're bullshit. And no offense, but then there's the people that can talk the real shit, but really they haven't been through the fucking real shit. So, like I said, there was technology that could not get into the wrong hands. And who were the wrong hands? The people that were saying that they were ready. And they were completely not ready. Because most people are not ready. There are people that guard use that might come off as the bad people. And then there's the people within inside those groups that know that there are people that can imitate that shit too. And those are some of the real worst of the worst. And the people that you may think are some of the worst people in life are not. They are guarding you from those people. Because they are guarding themselves from those people. You see, that plan was not meant for just, the so-called uneducated. It was meant for the supposed educated that briefed themselves on being educated, saying, oh, I am. And others around knew that they were not. I did not claim to have all the answers. I did not claim to have all of this and that figured out. because I was still learning. So what did these people do? They made sure it was hard for me to even try to fucking exist. And this was a part of the problem that was inside that church a long, long time ago. Because when orders went out by those top people, some of the people that were even above them, which there was not very many, were twisting and turning, and some of the people below them, and some of the people below, you understand? It was whatever they wanted to do. And this was a problem to the hierarchy. This is a problem to anything that starts with good intentions and ends up with fucked up intentions, even if it's trying to bring enlightenment to all the people of this planet. Have I met many children like Ari or me myself? No. No, I have not. That's why I, with brutal honesty, have spoken about things that I hope those people that I have spoken badly about, some of them are not only forgiven, but they understand that they are forgiven by who? Me. Some people had good intentions, no matter how horrible it seemed to supposed people who were placed in positions of judging them. Only God can judge. Only God. You can make your best assumption of whatever you think God is going to judge, but in the end, it is God who judges all. The other side of spirituality, that is why I bring up the field where they used to, and this is in the Bible. This is documented that they used to bring children to fields and leave them. Certain things that took place on the Indian reservation were wrong to certain degrees, and when I was explained here and there, which I didn't even understand that this was real. I did not even, I've already went into so many different videos about this. And then it was explained to me a certain way, which even then I didn't think was real until after I started waking really up to a lot of things. Then it started making sense. But do I trust the other side? In this body? In this form? No. I know there's too much mimicking. There's too much of it. And it's very, very hard to understand. When you look at this world and you see all the different species of animals and insects and fish and wild in general, trees of every different shape, form, and kind, then you may start to understand the Spirit of God and know that you are on a living planet. This is not a dead world. This is not hell. You can choose to make it hell. People wanted me to be this kind of Jesus. People wanted me to be this kind of Jesus. People wanted me to be this kind of Jesus. The only people that I had any respect for, and some of which I know, were demons. Because those people were demons in their mindset. And I'm not going to disrespect them. Free will. Free will. Those are the people I respect. To have the right to choose. There's too many people that want not so much what they cannot have, but they have not earned that. They watch a quick 10-minute video on YouTube, and now they're a fucking super genius. It is astonishing. And so, is the dumbing down of society? Because people are their worst enemies in some cases. When this should have stopped in my life, it didn't. And I watched as people came up to me apologizing. A lot of them, and I can say a lot of them were not so much white in skin color. And yet, those same skin colors, it also seemed that the shit started picking up around those same skin colors. So, as much as the word went out, is as much as the word continued in those same communities. Yet again, there was a problem a long time ago in the Church of Scientology. Would the Church of Scientology at this point still be considered the Church of Scientology if the right things happened all those years ago? I am not sure. Because to change a word that meant so much to so many people, and yet has it diverted from where L. Ron Hubbard wanted to bring it? You know what? I can say that I am not somebody who has studied L. Ron Hubbard. I am somebody who lived my life the way that I wanted to live my life. Because that is the way that I seen that I wanted to live my life. That I seen fit to try to live my life. And what I can say is that I've seen people putting stops to that. People that thought that certain things of mine were genius, but they put their own twist on those genius things. But genius is not so much where I was aiming. I was aiming for spiritual enlightenment even before I knew what spiritual enlightenment truly was. You know what? There are people that have memories of past lives. I am not going to sit there and claim to be one of those people where I remember being tacked to the cross. No. I was born with the marks of Jesus Christ. I was born with a whole freaking biblical prophecy on both palms of my hands. Insane. Where's that guy from those fucking It's insane. You know what I'm saying? Son. And the voodoo and the witchcraft. Hey, look, man. Witches don't always get along with witches. One voodoo man does not get along with another voodoo man, even though they kind of get along. That's the whole point of everything. It is how it is all sorted in the end. The Church of Scientology deals in truths, but it also deals with there is like 7 different truths to one truth. One truth. One truth. So much. And is it a lot for one person? Any single person? Any single one person in life to absorb all in one lifetime? It is very, very difficult. Some of the things that I was being put through were trials and tribulations that I knew I would have to face, and these people that were keeping somewhat an eye on the situation were engineering these situations to happen so that I would understand better of the type of people that I would have to deal with later on in life. Yet, there were people now, those you can consider as the puppet masters, right? But then there are the people that are playing the side strings like a harp. The problem was the people playing the side strings, and this has pretty much been the theme mainly throughout this video. Those people want to overthrow the truths that are there so that they can become the truth that you will choose to eventually believe, because one of the 7 or 8 or 12 or 20 different pathways to lead to the one truth can also lead to something else. If this is too hard for you to understand, then there's really not much I think I can say at that point. And I gotta take a piss. Finish my beer. Why I get waiting? Why I get ready, waiting to die. Instead of going to get my fucking money from the freaking church that they owed me a long, long time ago. Silver briefcases. Combination locks. What a fucking trip. Really is. Really is. I'm gonna go take my leak now. Have a nice day. I'm the son of God. And personally, in this world, you can kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck.